Hi everybody, I'm going to tell you a story called The Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. A very old story, and it's about a ghost, or actually three ghosts, who come to visit this miserable old man just before Christmas. So let's begin. Marley was dead to begin with. Old Marley was dead as a doornail. This must be understood, or nothing wonderful can come of this story that I'm going to tell you. Scrooge never painted out old Marley's name on the door. That was his old partner, but he was dead, like I said, dead. The company, that was the business, was known as Scrooge and Marley. Sometimes people called Scrooge Scrooge, and sometimes they called him Marley, but he answered to both names. It was all the same to him. Old Scrooge was a selfish, miserable old man. And he didn't care one little bit about Christmas. In fact, he didn't care about anything except money. One dark Christmas Eve, old Scrooge sat in his office counting money. That's all he did. It was biting cold, miserable, foggy weather, and Scrooge had a very small fire, and he had a clerk out in the other office, and he didn't have any fire at all, hardly, just a flickering little flame. Anyway, like I said, Scrooge was counting his money when suddenly the door burst open and in came Scrooge's nephew. "Merry Christmas, Uncle," he said. "Bah, humbug," said Scrooge. "Christmas a humbug?" said his nephew. "What do you mean?" "I don't care about Christmas. Every idiot goes about saying Merry Christmas, and they should be boiled with their potatoes and buried with a stake of holly through their heart. Don't be angry, Uncle. It's Christmas tomorrow. Try to be happy for a change." "Bah, humbug," said Scrooge. "Oh," said his nephew, "all right. Merry Christmas, Uncle. Bye." "Goodbye," said Scrooge. "Bah, humbug," as he saw his nephew walk out of the room. His nephew went out of the room and said "Merry Christmas" to the clerk. The clerk said "Merry Christmas" back. "Pfft," said Scrooge. "Only give him €10 a week, and he's got a wife and family. Talking about Merry Christmas. Bah, humbug." Scrooge's nephew went out the door and he let two people in. As he did, he said "Merry Christmas" to them as well. "Merry Christmas." "Merry Christmas to you too," said the gentleman. And as they came in, they said, "Mr. Scrooge or Mr. Marley?" to Scrooge. "Mr. Marley," said Scrooge. "He died 7 years ago, this very night." "Well, some of us are collecting to buy something for the people that've got nowhere to go this Christmas. Would you like to donate something?" "I don't care, and I don't give to anyone," said Scrooge. "They can go to hell for all I care." "Many would rather die," said the man. "So let them die," said Scrooge. "What do I care? Better off if they do die. It would decrease the population." "Well, if that's the way you feel," said the gentleman, "we'll say Merry Christmas and goodbye." "Bah, humbug," said Scrooge again, and the gentlemen went on their way. Scrooge went back to his work, counting his money. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and on he went, counting his money. a little boy stopped by to sing some Christmas carols. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. And he looked up and he saw Scrooge's face as he looked in through the door, and he didn't stop to sing another word. He ran for it. Bah, humbug, said Scrooge. People are even singing. Very timidly, a short time later, his clerk crept into his office, knocked on the door. Excuse me, Mr. Scrooge. What? Do you think I could go home now? It is nearly... You're going to say it is nearly Christmas, aren't you? And I suppose you'll want a day off tomorrow. Well, it is only one day, isn't it? Scrooge agreed it was and said that his clerk could go. So his clerk went off, putting on his coat and his hat, and went out into the cold night. Merry Christmas, Mr. Scrooge, he said as he went. Oh, humbug, said Scrooge, as his clerk went off and closed the door bang behind him. Scrooge decided he might as well go home too. So he went off, shut the door of his counting house, his office, and went off home. As he got to his house, he looked at the door, and on the door there was a big knocker on the door that you go bang, bang, bang on the door with. And it looked a little bit odd. Scrooge looked very carefully. It looked a bit like the face of his old partner, but it couldn't be. Anyway, he went inside, and he was just going to sit down to have his bowl of soup when he heard a clanking noise, like keys. What could it be, thought Scrooge. Bah, humbug, it's nothing, he said. But then he heard it again, and the door flew open with a boom. Humbug, said Scrooge. And then he looked up, and who should come through the door but Marley, his old partner. Scrooge couldn't believe his eyes. His old partner looked pretty bad, I have to say. And as he came in, he had a chain with him. And the chain was made up of old keys, like this. Big old keys. What do you want with me? Said Scrooge. You're Marley, aren't you? But you've been dead for 7 years. I know, said the ghost. I've been dead for 7 years, but I can't rest. Well, why not? Said Scrooge. Because I treated people so badly when I was alive, said Scrooge. I mean, said Marley, the ghost. I need to warn you, said the ghost. Warn me, said Scrooge. Warn me about what? Why, the way you live, said the ghost. If you don't change, you will end up the same as me, clinking along with chains of keys for eternity. So you will have 3 ghosts that will come and visit you. 1, 2, 3 ghosts for the next 3 nights. The first one will come tomorrow, just as the clock chimes 1. And the next night another ghost will come, just again when the clock chimes 1. And the third ghost will come just before midnight on the 3rd night. Be sure you're ready for them. And be sure you listen to what they've got to say. Scrooge sat there afraid. He didn't know what to say. And before he could blink and really know if it was true, the ghost had gone with a bang. He tried to say humbug, but he couldn't. So he decided the best thing to do was to go to bed and go to sleep. So that's what he did. I'll tell you the rest of the story soon. Bye.